Hello, my name is Judge John M. Tyson, and I currently serve as one of your elected judges on the North Carolina Court of Appeals. There are 4 seats on the court that are up for this November, and I am running for re-election to my seat. I have served on the court since 2014 and also served a previous term between 2001 and 2009. I have taught at Campbell School of Law for the last 35 years, and my prior service includes being a public school teacher, a state probation parole officer, and in private practice and as a corporate counsel for 3 national corporations. I respectfully ask for your continued support and your vote in November. Thank you. The Court of Appeals is an appeal of right court. We get cases from the district and superior court, so all over North Carolina, all 100 counties, and from administrative agencies. So the typical day is we will have a docket of 12 cases with 2 other judges on the panel that we will review. I will author 4 of those 12 cases, and the other 2 judges themselves will author the remaining 8 cases. So the typical day is reviewing. I have 2 law clerks and 1 research assistant. I have numerous interns from law schools that do come and help us at the court from time to time. So the typical day is very busy. We average writing about 120 opinions per year. That's over 2 per week. So think about writing 2 term papers per week if you were in college. So there's a lot of reading and research and writing to make sure that we get our opinions correct. Well, I'm a big fan of Billy Graham, and of course, the book that I've read the most is probably the Bible. From a very early age, my parents raised me in a Bible-believing home, and we prayed at every meal. We were in church, in Bible school, in Sunday school, so that's probably the book that I've read the most. But Billy Graham is a national treasure from North Carolina, and I found a lot of meaning from reading his books over the years. I can't point out a single one of those that I've enjoyed more than the others, but I just feel that he had an ability to convey his faith very clearly in a way that it was very easy to understand. 2 of my hobbies is maybe a little unusual to some folks. I like to restore antique automobiles and tractors. I'm also a coin collector. I have been a coin collector since I was about 6 years old, and raised on a farm, so my father and my uncles and folks around me taught me how to work on cars and motors and tractors. So it's a skill that I got, learned on the farm. And I've always fixed my own cars. It's getting hard today with all the electronics that's on them, but I still enjoy working on them, particularly the older cars. The first car that I ever had, I bought for $15. It was a 1960 Ford when I was 14 years old. We would drive through the woods and on the farm, and that's where I learned to drive after learning on the tractors and the pickups on the farm. You got to remember, when you're raised on a farm, you start driving tractors when you're 8 and 9 years old. So my first car was a 1960 Ford sedan that leaked oil so bad that I would put a can under it at night to catch the oil to pour it back in the next day. My judicial philosophy is consistent with the mission of the North Carolina Judicial Branch, which is to provide fair and impartial remedies and procedures to the people of North Carolina. We are blessed to have, as a Republican form of government, the executive, legislative, and judicial branches. Each of us has specific roles in the Constitution. My father was an elected member of the legislature. They make the laws. They are the people's representatives elected by the people every 2 years to make the laws. It is the governor's and the executive branch's obligation to execute those laws, to put those laws into effect. The judicial branch is much more limited. We are to interpret and apply the law, not make the law. And I guess that's the biggest thing between a conservative judicial philosophy and maybe someone who thinks that judges should put into place policies that the legislature has not adopted. We live under a majoritarian Republican form of government. Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution says the United States shall guarantee to the states a Republican form of government. That is a representative republic where the people's representatives make the laws and they are easily replaced every 2 years. It is not the judge's role to take away the powers and the duties of the legislature.